True or false? That's the mindset. But listen, you don't become wealthy because of what you have. You become wealthy for what you know. Please write it down. You become wealthy. You don't become wealthy for what you have. What you're going to have is growing money. That is not what's going to make you wealthy. You'll be wealthy for the knowledge you have. That is why you have to take every aspect of what we are doing here today seriously. Second point I want you to know. Understand that unlike any other resource in the world, wealth comes from their thought process. 2 points are made, which I want you to get us today. Understand that wealth comes from your what? Thought process. Okay. Now, why are we here? I listened to all of you when you are making your introduction. You are saying a lot of things. In summary, we are here for only one reason. What is it? Please, I like interaction when I'm speaking. So talk. I like you to interact with me. Why are we here? Just to grow your business. Some of you are. That's no other reason. Is there any reason why I can tell me somebody can love you? You are here simply to do what? Grow your business. And what does that mean? You're looking at new markets, new products, new customers. That's very simple. Okay. Now, why do you want to grow your business? Why do you want to grow your business? Profits, survival. You're very scared that if you don't, your business may collapse. There are a whole lot of reasons why you want to grow your business. And also, for some of you who have investors, you want what? A return on investment. Okay. Let me show you a graph. Please pay attention. I would have had that point here. Please pay attention on this graph. This is what we call the stages of growth in the business. You were here after the LiveWire program. This was your position. Now, okay, this was your position during the LiveWire program. Startup, pilot, rollout. So, most of you are in this bracket. Some of you here are here. You can see. Some of you are still here. I'll put that to you right now. Some of you are still here, but most of you are here. So I'm going through this so that you understand. I want you to understand when you say you want to scale up a business. So you understand what it is. Because some people think scaling up is going to look for money into a business. You need to understand where you're coming from. So you can see, this is where you started from. Some of you are still here. They want to scale up. No. You must get to positive. I'm telling you today that what Growth will be looking for are those people who are still here. You will not give them money. Growth wants people who are from here up. You will find out when you feel it's fun. So you will understand that. So you can see from there, you get to growth, expansion, maturity. So this is what you basically mean by business growth. Okay. Now, when you are at this point, you are now ready to scale up. Please follow my trend. It is at this point now you are ready to do what? Scaling up. So like I mentioned, if you are here, you are not ready. From there, you are now ready to scale up. Okay. Now, why are we scaling up? Please pay attention. We are actually the main teaching now. Why are we scaling up? 3 things. You want to grow your business. In all entirety, you want your business to grow. Number 2, you want higher revenue. Some of you, you're comfortable with your business, but you want it sustained. Because you're scared if you don't scale up, you can start to drop. So these are the 3 main reasons why you scale your business. You have to understand this. Number 1, for growth, for more money. And for those of you who are already comfortable, you need some balance so that at some point, you will be able to stabilize. Okay, now please pay attention here. This is very important. I'm going to spend some time here. Listen, you have to scale something in your business. You don't just scale your business. Some of you are talking about scale. There's something you have to scale in your business. You don't just scale your business. So, these are the 6 things you have to choose, because all these 6 things cannot be wrong with your business. So the money or whatever you're using, this is where you apply it to. So there has to be something you want to scale. Number 1, users using their reach. They're talking about your marketing. Somebody will ask a question about how to use internet marketing. What you're doing now, you're scaling up your sales. I had that question. You're trying to scale up your sales. So now, maybe it involves money. You want to get into doing billboards, you want to get into more. That's scaling up users. That's number 1. Number 2, revenues. You want to scale up your revenue. So you're thinking of, okay, everything is okay. So how do I get more money? Technology, very important. I spoke to some guy here, my friend, new friend, who is making shoes. So I'm sure your problem is technology. You see? So you have to understand, I want you to get the real concept of what scaling is. Scaling is not 100%. You must understand the aspect of your business you want to scale. And if you cannot identify that, you are not ready to scale. So I have shown you, you scale your marketing, you are technology. So those of you who are manufacturing, are here at this point, you already have market. But your problem is what? Technology. You can also scale up the people you hire, your workers. Now, okay, my business is growing, it's getting more sophisticated, so I need to hire more people. Just scale it up. So, because you don't have money to pay that kind of salary, you need money to pay that salary. Your processes, probably your processes have been manual, you want some IT-driven process. Are you following me? So maybe your accounting processes, inventory management, you want to probably deal with IT. Then your product, which has to do with branding, you want to change the look, something needs to be done. So, what have I said? You must identify what you want to scale. So don't just say, I want to scale up. If I'm your mentor or your consultant, I must be sure of what it is. Okay. Now, small businesses, they have a problem. They want to scale everything because they don't know. When you go to growing, you just tell him, look, I need money to grow. I just want to grow. I need money to grow. But what are you using the money for? He ask you. What are you using the money for? So, how do we overcome this? Let's write it down. You don't scale everything. You don't scale everything. So what do? You identify your business limitations. Because it's the limitations of your business that transcend to your growth. That is what is giving you the pressure to be scaling up. So you don't just wake up and say, I want to scale up. So it is those pressure that you are getting from your business that will now transcend to your need for money. So what are those limitations? I don't know what the business is, but they're all here. You can see. You can see. Probably three question and answer, you can ask me more questions. So if additional revenue requires relatively small addition to operating costs. Now, if you check your business and you know that when you put little money, you make more money, then you're ready to scale up. But if the money you're getting from profit will match your operating costs and keep you in the same profit level, you only do this. Am I speaking to somebody? Yes. So after this lecture, you know that you go back to work. So do you understand what I'm saying? So they have to check. So this is if what you're doing is to, you know that some companies that are very big, they can have 2 shops, they expand to 4 shops. At the end of the year, they are still declaring the same profit. You don't need to scale up. You're just getting too busy for yourself. That's what it is. Now, but if it is the reverse, then you need to scale up. Okay. The next slide now, I want you to examine yourself whether you really need to scale up or not. There are signs that show that the business is what? Ready to scale up. What are those signs? Okay, let's go through it. Number one, you get to a point, please stand up. I know this lady. She's into bridals. She gets to a point that my daughter wants to wed and I call her. You say, please, I cannot meet up. I can't meet up, please. If the wedding is 20th of next month, please give to another person. Are you understanding me? Please pay attention. You must get to this point whereby you are turning down potential business opportunities. If you are not going to a point that your capacity, if your capacity is carrying your business, don't be scared as well. So you must get to a point whereby your business opportunities is down. Business opportunities are too much for you. They are coming. Yes, from what I showed you before, you look at your technology, look at your people, look at several things. Because I think Bishop Rice said, don't scale up when you're not ready. She said it clearly, don't. Because when you do that, you put yourself into a bigger mess. You would have wished to remain where you are. But the liabilities will be so much that you don't know what to do next. Number two, surpassing previous goals. Please, if I'm still using her as an example, if your goal is 10 bridals a month and you're just keeping it, not attempted to make like 12, 15, then you're not ready to scale up. Because what this means is that you are struggling to exceed your goal. You're working too hard. So it needs to be easier for you. Probably I'm putting in more hours because you have only one machine. If probably you had another machine, you should be able to supersede your goals. But if you're setting your goals and it's like that, you're not really ready to scale up. No, I'm not ready to scale up. Strong cash flow and repeated sales. Please, don't be deceived by profit. Profit in a business doesn't mean that you're doing well. It is sustained profit and cash flow. Because a circumstance can come that can make you make profit. Do you remember during Ebola? We had, what's that? Sanitizer. Some pharmacy shops make profit. There's someone who think his head is still up. Suddenly they give it. So you must have repeated and what? Sustained what? Cash flow. Don't be deceived. You can't show profit last month and no. If you want to show consistency, that I'm making this profit. Proven concept and reliable infrastructure. At your level, you have the kind of infrastructure that is supporting your business at the level before you scale up. Because the transition into another level is not easy. So if you do not have good infrastructure, I'm talking about good human resources, equipment and all that, if you scale up, you have a problem. It will be the first 3-4 months, it will be beneficial for you. The final one, which is very important, which is what growth looks at, is an atmosphere of what? Atmosphere of what? It's very important. Don't scale up to put yourself into a problem. Every lender is looking at doing risk analysis. He wants to see what this is exposing you to. This money that they are giving to you, is it exposing you to more profit or more risk? Now, this is determined by the kind of business you're doing. It's important. I don't want to get much into that, so I will explain to you question and answers. Okay. Now, how do you operate? How do you scale up? You know, I have only 20 minutes. This is a full teaching I wish for the seminar. that have things really needs. These are very fast. Number one, for all your businesses, upgrade your team. It's very important. Human resources, you have to check that. Number two, upgrade your technology. My friend the shoemaker, if probably used to use hammer and go, you need some equipment to cut, and you too. Some of all those manual things used to beat it. Use iron to press it. That gets proper equipment that will do the bidding for you. Then upgrade your package. It's very important. You don't think about scaling up without a new market. You're wasting your time. What you would have done is to manufacture bubbles, manufacture a lot of things which will pack in your warehouse. In fact, as a consultant, if I'm checking or scaling up, that's the only thing I will check. The last one. That's what's very important. Because if you don't have the market, why are you scaling up? The more the question I asked, that's the only question, that's the third one, which is very important. Okay. Now, when you have scaled up, you know it's easy to scale up the next scale that I told you, as profit. There are some people who are taking money from him. Some are doing well, some are not doing well. Let me show you why. Now, number one, you need to know what it takes to create a business. You have to understand what it takes to create a business. Number two, you need to review your business model. Number three, you need to develop a good business growth strategy. I'm assuming now that you have gotten the loan, you have gotten the money you came for. So the first one is, you need to know what it takes to create a business. You have had all this before. I'm sure they've been teaching you all this before. But now you have to take it more seriously because you're growing up. It's talking about attitude, style, all these things are very important. That I've been hearing about what if I want to put it now in a better perspective where you understand. So you get the data, so I'm not going to go through the one by one. So you need to know what it takes to grow. Now, the second one is business model. If you do not have a business model, which is the way you deliver your value to your customer, how do you deliver value to your customer? You're going to fail. So I'm going to spend like 2 minutes on that to explain that to you now. Now, this is your business model. Please pay attention. But I'm still using you as an example. Okay? So now listen. Channels. You're scaling up. You know some people who want to buy products from you, the only way they can buy is coming to your shop. Wrong. So we need to create channels to sell. So it's not enough to have customers because you don't have to drive to somewhere to get you have to create multi-channels. That is also good payment. What? There's some petrol stations now that also sell POS. So multi-channels are very important. This attention is very important. Now, key activities. What are those activities that are important in your business? And for you, I don't know what it is, but I think is you have to source the right materials. It's very, very important. You know that your customers cannot afford it, you have a problem. So you have to change your business model. It's very important. Now, customer relationship, you've heard all this before. If you're a wicked person here, go out of business. If you're a wicked person. Business, cameras, love. The new animal shop that I can get is called Love Can Make You a Good Entrepreneur. I did one shop and I showed them that you cannot succeed in business if you don't have the heart to love. What drives customer relationship is who you are. If you do not treat anybody well, you can't treat your customer well. You know all that. Now, key partners. This is very important. What are the people who are making your business grow? Because you are scaling up. It's no longer ad hoc. Before it is, now you are a big person. Just like Shell today. Shell, all their partners, they sign a partnership agreement and make sure they know them, they have them, that they can afford. This is the level you're going now. It is not floating. So all those partners that make your business grow, you have to ensure that they are there. Now, which other one? Cost structure. Cost structure is very, very important. Please bear in mind that as you are scaling up, some costs are also going up, like your personnel cost, which can sense to the last value of your product. If probably a personnel cost before was 1 million, it could go up to 3 million. So, how do you still maintain the same price? So, these are things you need to look at. Customer segments. Not all customers are the same. Madam, I'm still using it as an example. So you know when you are dealing with these people like me. So and the ordinary people. You understand? So you have to do proper segmentation. Which one have I not touched now? Revenue stream. Which one? Yeah, revenue stream. Okay, very, very important. Now your revenue stream is important. When I get into strategies, I will teach you that. So you have to understand how to make more money. Alright. Now, the last one is your strategies. Please, the strategy is very, very important. This is number 3. If you don't have a very good business strategy to drive your new growth, you have a problem. So these are all the strategies, but I will just show you 1 or 2 before I close down. Now, this is the most common strategy, which is market penetration. You have to find a way to sell more, because it's not easy to develop a customer base. You understand that? So what do? How do you sell more to your customers? That's what we call market penetration. Because you don't have to, you just have 200 customers. So how do you sell more? How do you sell products more to them? If you watch Milo, for instance, you know they're using sachets now because of wireless economy. So people are buying more. Because instead of buying 1,000, they can now buy 50 naira. This is how you achieve market penetration. So you are going to lose your market, because if you don't do that, more people. So that applies to your business. You have to understand how you can do that. You will also get what? More market share. There are a lot of things you got to consider. Discounts. Do you know when they say, buy one and get one free? The company has already absorbed the loss. Listen, you know how they get it? If their customer base is 1,000, after their roof, it moves to 3,000, the profit gets back. They're not stupid. I wish I had time to explain all this to you. Now, new products to existing customers, and so now don't move out of your comfort zone. These two companies are, so you know what I'm like, these are people I'm mentoring. This one started with orange and pineapple. So what we did was to make her offer more variety to the same customers. You understand what I'm saying? Think about your business, what you're offering them. The same customers, what can you give them that can increase your turnover? You don't need new equipment, you don't need anything. How do you do that? This is crystal bread. They are doing normal bread. Now today, because of people with sugar problem, they are doing wheat bread, honey bread. So this increases your market. These are little strategies that you can use. Sorry, I don't have time for all this. I have to do on time. Madam, this is for you. We talked about alternative sales channels. This is very, very important. When I was talking about market reach, so you have to think of other ways you can sell your product, not just the conventional way you have been selling it. You know, the social media is very easy, so you have to sit down and think of what other ways. I don't know what time to explain, but I hope you can ask me questions later. Now, diversification. Madam, and I'm still using that as an example. Since you make clothes, right out, you can also at weddings, sometimes they wear traditional dress. No, of course. So you can offer traditional wedding dress and also wedding dress. So you have diversified. Because it's the same customer. You have built the trust. So that will make give you more income. It's the same machine, it's just probably new tailors. So that I don't have time. Okay. The other one is exploiting your value chain. Please look at your business. Every business has a value chain. Think from the supply to distribution to the end. That's the way you can key in and eliminate someone in your value chain. If you're doing magnetics, how much more is that? So you can exploit your value chain. There are a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do. So look at whatever business you're doing today, if it is shoemaking, whatever, add a lot of freedom. So look at the entire value chain. Because all those interventions will lower your cost and give you more profit. The final one is get integrated into a bank. This is the business of the future. I had a 3-day conference on platforms. If you do not understand platforms, people are hearing you and listening. This is the best way to sell business. People are no longer interested. Get your platform, you see everything. Brother, woman, if there's a platform where they do bridals, you'll be getting orders from all over. You'll be getting orders from all over the world. Get yourself into a platform. Just find yourself into the platform of the kind of business you are doing. Finally, is in orders, please, I'm concluding right now. Find the mentor. The problem with the Christian people is they don't ask questions. Think they know too much, but someone that you don't know anything. So please, at all times, find somebody to ask questions. Thank you very much. I will develop you. God bless you.
All it is to get money. Because everybody is looking for money and money is so scarce. And so the process of getting money is like trying to pronounce my surname. Alright? Friday Senenga is my name. I work for Growing. I said Senenga. Somebody saying, Senenga, that's my name. Yeah. I work for Growing. And the only business we do is to support small businesses like yours to grow. I didn't say give money, I said support to grow. Because support goes beyond money. For you to qualify to get money, you must demonstrate to us that you can remove the things that are limiting your business growth. My president was talking about limitations. Because until you can remove those limitations, or you agree to work with us to remove those limitations, our money will not be of use to you, and so will not give you money. And that's why I said we support businesses to grow, because that support starts with assisting you to remove the limitations to business growth, so that when we put money on the business can create value. Now, there are so many slides here, we're not going through those slides. We'll get to the slides when we consider them important. I'll just tell you exactly what you need to hear and what you need to do, beginning from where you are seated now, to assess some of the resources that you need to scale up your business. You will notice that not every LiveWire graduate qualified for this particular workshop. You were carefully was also talking about businesses that interest fund providers, those with low risks. Now, businesses that have gone up to the point of scale-up, like is demonstrated, are those whose entrepreneurs had taken the startup risk and have learned how to fail and how not to fail again, and therefore are ready to scale up. Those are the easiest of businesses to finance. Those are the kind of businesses that people who want to lend to businesses look for. Low risk businesses. It is supposed that at this time, most of you have achieved, like, it may not be all, most of you have gotten to that level. And so the reason why we are here is to take you through exactly what you need to be able to access the resources. I keep talking about resources, not funds. The resources that you need to scale up your business. All right, and my job has been made very simple by inviting persons that have had dealings with us and who have good stories to tell. And they are here. Now, I'll put it this way: what we do as Growing, or who we are, 5 words. We are an international organization. That means we break across the border countries. In fact, 15 countries as we speak. Now, we provide support to SMEs. Support that I think goes beyond finance. There is a level of support that you need before you can put money in your business. There is financial support and the level of support that you need to provide after you have put money in the business. So ensure that the money you have put in the business is put to investment work. So enable the business run efficiently and create value on a sustainable basis. That's the only way that money can grow and then is fed back, is returned by way of paying back, and then the business continues. And so we provide the resources that you know you need to achieve development of the business in total. And so to the extent that we also provide money, it means we are a financial services provider. So we are an international organization and we are a development financial institution because we support development of businesses, but our emphasis is on SMEs. And so we are an international SME development finance institution. We've done this business in the Niger Delta since 2014, and we have great testimonies. Now, the reason why we are in this particular workshop is because this year, in one of our funds, we must create 16 new businesses this year. Now, over the years, the 2 years fund that we operated, so we created 38 new businesses. Now, out of those 38 new businesses, 11 of them are LiveWire graduates. 11 of them. our target, and Joy must not write this down, is to grow that ratio to 50%. Either this year or by middle of next year. This year is difficult because we have only 11 of the year, that's 29%. If I have to grow that to 50, it will mean that by the end of this year, when I should have about 67 businesses, it means that I have to produce 27. And that would mean that the 16 businesses I need to create this year must all be LiveWire initiatives. That is simple arithmetic. So that's why that 50% may not be possible this year. But as many of you are as willing and able to go through our very simple but detailed investment process can be part of that program. Now, I'll tell you this. Over the last 2 years, virtually every LiveWire applicant has successfully accessed our resources. Virtually everyone. I think everyone. The reason is because there's a lot of value in the training that you have during the LiveWire program. And so some of the things we try to get people to do, you can do them with ease. And that's why with a very detailed process, LiveWire beneficiaries who have been patient and willing to work with us have found it very useful. That's why you can hear today that we are trying to be the best financial from Nigeria. And I say it everywhere, not just in Nigeria. I say it everywhere. The best financial in Nigeria is made in what happened GR history. I say it everywhere. And that's why it's like to a point where he can show consistent indication of consistent increase in sales, indication of consistent increase in cash flow, indication of the potentials to grow the market, can demonstrate to all that, look, this market is limited, but I just can't get that. Just have to go and and then we support them to do it. And so we help such businesses to review their business plans, to review their business models, to review their mode of operations, to review their processes. We look at the processes, we look at how you operate, and we ask questions, and we make suggestions on ways that they could be improved. And we assist you in acquiring those resources that you could not acquire that have limited growth. That's what we do. And we call those pre-investment support services. We do that whether or not we are going to be money in the business. We do that all over the country. Whether we are not to identify a business that has education to benefit from our support, we do that. If at the end of the day we still find that we can't put money in the business, we let it go. We count the investment that we have made as part of our contributions to the general growth of businesses in Nigeria. But the objective is always to get the business to the point where we can put it in money. So we do that for all businesses that we get involved in. And we follow up with that until we are convinced. So long as the entrepreneur is willing to work with us, do the things we advise should be done, we do that until we get to the point where we can put in money. Because until we put in money, really, we don't make any money. Because what we do is pay work. So beyond the pre-investment support services, we also funding on the business. We must put funding on the business if we have to make money from the business. And so we look at what the business needs. What were those strengths? What resources, what financial resources do we need to improve those strengths? What do we need more solutions? Do we have the capacity to get rid of them ourselves? Do we have the resources within you that you not effectively use to address those needs that we can guide you to? Or do we need resources that external persons, external consultants or mentors that you can add to provide? Where that is the case, we assist in sourcing those external resources, negotiate prices on your behalf, use our leverage in the market, in the industry, our relationship with some service providers, and get the best possible price. And we supervise what they do to make sure they deliver exactly what they promise to deliver and exactly what we think is the need of the business. So we follow. All that counts as business support. And so when we are satisfied that we are ready to put money, we then sit down with you and determine the kind of money that we think the business needs, how much money we think the business needs, what the money should be put on. So it's not just a question of what do you need the money for? You give us a list and you put the amount. You will do that, but we will screen each one because it has to be justified. And we have to agree with you that that's what is required. But what I'm taking you through is the process of getting to that decision. And so when we have agreed on what we need as the amount that is needed to fund further growth, we then put the investments together. And so every investment that we need, we make, is a unique package, customized, specifically structured for that client. So it's not unlike banks. And when you go to a bank, they will tell you you need good. Everybody is good in a bank. Working capital. We sit down with you, we agree with you on, we explain to you what the financing structure is, what kind of fund we need, and why we think so explain it in a language that you can understand. And so we structure it in a manner that will suit your business. Somebody is going to ask me to do material. I answer your phone and say yes. Because when we are determining what the business is, we will end up with financial projections for about 3 years. And so between you and ourselves, we will determine what we need, given the capacity of the business, and remodel since we are working together. This is the business. And then those cash flows, we then decide the length of the that's what I'm saying. So it's not just like you go to the bank, and for SME, you can't give you more than 3 months of credit, or 1 month. If I'm already in business, so why can't you start paying immediately? The reality is that when you are giving a loan, for example, the cash flow of the business is the most important factor in determining the point at which that business can begin to make a payment, even payment of interest. And so sometimes you find that interest payment comes 30 months before the principal payment begins. It goes like business cash flow. That's what we help businesses to do. And so after we have put money in the business, we sit down and monitor the business with you. There are things that you may not do by reason or like what once you get a good idea, or the other than get a good idea, it is our because sometimes you find that after investment of the funding ratio between the owner and the lender is in favor of the lender. In favor, for example, we can fund 70% of the business. We can fund 70% of the business because we require a minimum equity involvement of the business. So we can only fund 70% of the business. And so, if the funding arrangement becomes 30-70 in favor of the lender, it means that they should take out that business. We are greater than so you cannot have to be mind. That is not the key problem that the lender has. They will not borrow money from all over the world and will hide all the books if he decides to create law. And will hide all the books under the table so that lenders will not see it. No, there is no one that works. It's simple. It is works. It works. Because everybody who has invested at the stake in the business. And so because we have a stake in the business, our money is at stake. If anything happens, we will lose. Know that you will. So we'll take interest in ensuring that you do everything that we agreed before we do. We agreed should be done to ensure that the business runs well, the plans that we put together are properly implemented, and the business makes the kind of. The first speaker was talking about trust. We only give money to people who are reputable and people who are reliable. People who are reputable, people who are credible, and people who are reliable. Credibility, reliability, so we can trust. You must have incorporated businesses, right? Sorry, registered businesses. I know you all have business names and all of that. So you want to properly register. And of course, the business has been located in Nigeria that you already qualified as such. Our loans do not attract collateral. We don't ask for collateral. Because we want to send to collateral. Except the things that we use our money to buy for. Those ones are already our money. So we make sure we can move the money out because they are our money. But we don't take into account. We don't even take the names we already had before we enter the business. So effectively, we are not supposed to provide collateral. But we have business on the such line can create social life and employ people, create impact in the society. Alright, so how do I apply? After we are business support, how do I apply? Okay. Let's say, right. For this workshop, we already have application forms. I don't know if we are we administering the application forms now? Are we administering the application forms now? Are we getting that on?
No.
Right. We already have, but before we distribute the application forms, when Joy notified us of this program, she sent us a list of all of this. And we sent emails to you with a one-page application form. How many people received it? One-page application form. Emails. How many people don't have emails here? You don't have email addresses. You all have. Good. They're not working on it. No, we sent to all of them. You didn't receive? How many people didn't receive? Is it that you didn't receive or you have not checked since last year? It's not checked that since last year. You didn't receive. How many people receive? Let's say again. How many receive? What?
I'm sorry. Can I say something?
Here's where to spam in.
Yes. Some went to spam.
Why I'm asking is because everybody responds. If you responded, and we are actually visited, we have physically visited. So, because that one page form was to just give us an idea of what you do and what is possible. Because the form that I'm going to give you now is the full application form. Our process is very simple, but very complicated. So you will need a lot of time, a lot of information, education, fill the form. But as our manner is, we will help you to give information because there are some things you may not be sure of. Right? So my colleague here, Charles.
They called me actually.
So Charles will distribute the forms. We'll begin to, right? We'll look at the forms. If I don't know if they want us to fill it now.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Friday, for that wonderful presentation. I believe we now understand what it means.
When you want to support your business, you need money. What you are considering, don't look at the interest rate. What's important is, if I take this money, am I going to be profitable? It doesn't matter whether one is giving you 2%, 3%, 10%. The issue is, when you do your analysis, if I take 1 million naira and invest, then what's that lady that's doing those materials? If I buy, borrow 1 million naira and I buy more materials, can I pay this interest and be profitable? That's what is key. Now, there are other options you can take. Remember when I was showing you about business model, there are factors critical to your business. Those are your partners. Like her, she would have developed a relationship with her people that she can go and carry materials with business. Then after she will pay. So these are options. But if you have not developed that, what you need to do, don't just take money. Sit down and analyze your business. If I take this money, am I still going to be profitable? Now, what you people do not understand, don't want to understand what the percentage is. It's simple interest. It's simple what? Interest. So we'll calculate it now so that you understand what it is. It's not when you have 100% is clear. So if you take 1 million naira, how many of you think simple interest there? It's principal times rate times what? So now, if you take 1 million naira, principal is what? 1 million naira, rate is what? 0.12 times 1, which is how much? 120. Divide this by 12 months, that's how much? That's what you pay. So you need to understand what this is. So one thing when you hear percentage, you need to understand what interest is. No, I'm not like it decreases, the next month, the principal now subtracting from your principal, then you understand what I'm saying? So it is nothing. It's not, don't look at it as when you hear as something, you need to understand what are you paying back. It is literally nothing. And if you are faithful in paying your debts, the next month the principal becomes 1 million minus the interest you have paid. But it requires a lot of discipline. This is not time again to go and think here. But last year, so they are disappearing. It's not the time. You need not discipline. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Spend the money on frivolities on yourself. That was one thing that Growth insisted. You pay yourself a salary. You pay the salary. salary and you pay yourself that and you stay within that. Every other money that you need to spend, you need to apply it back into the business or you save it up. So those are the things that I learned. Being able to keep my books properly and believe me. 12% is a gift. Because it's structured in a way that it allows you to grow. It doesn't stifle you. You understand? So you pay with ease. And I'm telling you this because I trekked around the city from bank to bank looking for financing. And they're giving me interest rates of upwards of 20%. Little or no monetary. Collateral needed. In fact, when they give it to you, you know that it's a suicide. It's totally, you can't even, don't even think about it. So, before, at least people you're here and you have nothing. When we started out, there wasn't nothing. So there was this long period of frustration where I used to call them and hound them. I said, look, I don't need grants. I want to know that I will pay back because I feel I've grown enough. I'm responsible enough to pay back the loan. So what I'm saying now is, as a business, you get it. There are probably people already in your field. But what you need to look at and say that, what can I do differently? What is it that I can offer so that I can cut into these people that already exist in their own market share and claim them for myself? So I came into a market where there was flooded with imported wedding dresses and I said, okay, fine. They're here and they're good, that's all right. But one thing I realized that because of the disparity in our currency values, the kind of dresses that they used to bring in were like low-end dresses. I mean, someone comes and says, oh, I got my dress from the US and it cost them $700. And I look at the dress and I can't wear it. So the idea was, okay, fine. I'm going to up the game. I'll make my dress much better than this dress and it will cost less than $700. And that was what I did. And then I started, so one thing I did, of course everybody knows that it's very expensive to get a good dress. You know, so what I did, fine, I'll offer two dresses for prices less than off-the-rack dresses. So at least, now we're able to give you jump to the door. And then gradually I started to grow. And then I just realized that look, I need to still get more of the market share because not everybody can afford to buy a wedding dress. So I needed to get into rentals. But to get into rentals, I needed to stockpile, I needed to get fabrics that I didn't have. So I managed at some point after I worked a while, I got the fabrics and I started to make new dresses. But just then, my shop was an island, they needed to contribute. They put down my shop. So now I tied down my resources to new dresses. All of a sudden, I didn't have a shop. So literally, I sold those dresses to other shops for nothing. Because that's the way it works. You sell it to other shops because I can't rent them. So it was like everything I started with had fizzled out. So I'm starting from scratch. So I'm just saying this to let you know that if you keep your sights on the map, what you intend to achieve, there's no stopping. Because I mean, even in the Bible, what it was saying, nothing can be free from them what they intend in their hearts to do. So even God who made us understands the power of our minds. So if you yourself are determined to succeed, you do this, and you do the necessary things to get there, or you need to have a goal first. So having that, it was sometimes, and I just started thinking, I saw my just starting again. I started to put my machines in my garage and I started to work again. I stayed in my garage for like 2-3 years, and then I met Rofi. And then I think I made a mistake. I used to call him without end until I finally got the credit that I needed. Of course, I got to a new shop by this time, and I had some things in place. But the thing I was saying, I used it a lot to increase my score, so I could now do rentals. And the idea was like, okay, fine. Because as an entrepreneur, you don't only look at your sector. Because what happens in another sector can affect your own sector. So when I started to look at the falling prices of crude, and I said, you won't be done before people have less money to spend, and it affects me. So how do I position myself to ensure that I don't go down with the recession that was coming? Ensure that you have affordable clothes that you can come in and pay rent first class person. I went to crisis because I also knew that most times when walking to a bridal shop, those high-end dresses are not available for rent. That's what they tell you. Those ones are available for rent. And then the ones that are available for rent. So what do I do? I just got those high-end dresses. I put them up available for rent. I used the money I stockpiled on fabrics, so that made it easy for me to do. That was where both we came in. So, and then the business support. Right now, I'm still the accountant, marketer, designer, I have people working for me. But in order, at a point, I was doing laundry myself. Why? Because the salary I was paying me wasn't enough. So rather than pay someone else to do the laundry, I'll take the money and I'll do the laundry. And it was tough work, but it needed to be done because I've set my sight on the goal and I'm not hit it. So now I'm at a point where we now invested. I did a lot. Initially, I told them I wanted to do billboards. And I sat down and looked at it and I was like, if I have to do billboards, it's going to cost me a lot. And then I have to wait for people to always pass by where my billboards are. So I went back to them and said, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't want to spend this money on billboards. I want to do internet marketing. So I concentrated on social media, and it's a platform that is available for us now. These are things that we didn't have before. Facebook, Instagram, as I speak to you now, like 75% of my clientele now come from social media. So I don't even have to do any convincing. They go to my page, they see my dress, they see my design, they just walk in and they're already made up. Their minds are made up. I'm getting my dress from you. And it's so much that now I don't even meet a lot of my clients. I have my advice, Ireland, Ghana, different parts of different states. So weekend now we know how to have a logistics person who goes to the various parts, sends the dresses when they need to go, and then they come back to us when they need to if they are renting. So what I'm just saying is really because the entire world, the space, is a market that is available. It just needs to get yourself there. So what I'm saying is, don't look at the percentage. It's fantastic, believe me, it is a gift. Because we're paying off the loans with ease. And we structure it in such a way that it doesn't stifle your business. You still have room to grow. So what I'd encourage you to do, first of all, understand your market and how you can capture it and get the advantage of filling the gaps that other service providers are not doing, so that you can collect the market. So this is that's what
I was like trying to strategize and putting plans of what next to do, because as I talk to you, my shop is flooded. People sit outside the shop to like trade. Sometimes when it's so sunny, some people have to run inside, they drag space and all the rest of it. Like you said, it's not about the money, but the information you get to like put into the business. I think this is the best stage of my life, and I have gotten the best out of this seminar. In fact, in the next 3 months, the testimonies will be rapid.
Any other person want more mail now? Any mail that want to say anything here?
No, I'm not saying anything.
They're still waiting.
Somebody.
Okay, that's right. I would like to call
the bag.
the team lead of partnership team is the head of partnership in share. When we talk of partnership, doing business with other organizations, she is the one that is in charge. I will call her our expatriate, the only expatriate in our team. She's no other person than Mrs. Anike Kakayo. Please, let's